Hello and welcome to Norristown Area High School Gymnasium, where tonight the Owls of Bensalem High School, with a record of 11 wins and 5 losses, get set to challenge the Eagles of Norristown with a record of 14 wins and only 1 loss. Mark Werkheiser here courtside, along with Joe Hadrick. We'll be bringing you tonight's action. And Joe, tonight Norristown, unlike their last 2 games, will see an opponent that can match them with quickness and speed. Bensalem can really get after it.
Mark, this should be the battle of who's quicker. Bensalem has guys like Mike Elzy, Sakeen Cook, and Jason Tabita, guys that can really get up and down the court. So this should be a challenge for Norristown.
Now, will Coach Cresswell need to do anything different as far as his game plan is concerned or his strategy in order to contain Bensalem's quickness and also contain their high scorer, Mike Elzy?
Norristown only knows one way to play right now, and that's up-tempo, Mark. Of course, if Mike Elzy starts to get off and they have to control him, Coach Cresswell might put his son or another guy on him to sort of cool him down. But initially, I think Norristown will play their own game, up-tempo.
Now, let's talk about Norristown for a second. Up till about a week ago, Norristown had been having some trouble with inconsistent play and had been sluggish from time to time. However, the last 2 outings, they've really put together some solid performances. Last Tuesday against North Penn, literally blowing them out on this court here, and Friday night against a very tough, physical Pennsbury team. One of the reasons for that domination has been their defense.
Mark, Norristown is outscoring their opponents by an average of 23 points a game. I think they're scoring 73 points and they're giving up 50 points. So Norristown's offense is their defense, and that should get them over tonight.
One of the other reasons has to have been the fact that each game, the last 3 games, they've had a player other than their 2 stars, Harry Allen and Derrick Perry. Each one of those games, someone has stepped up to really have a super game for the Eagles. Now, 3 games ago against Neshaminy, Condi Bates scored 20 points, or over 20 points. Last Tuesday night here, Willie Anderson started a big first quarter for Norristown and had a super game in the open court. Last Friday night against a tough Pennsbury team, like we said, Alfonso Giddens had a strong inside game.
If there's any advantage in this game, Mark, it's Norristown's depth. They have 5 guys who can all put the ball in the hoop. They have 3 guys coming off the bench. The green guy, Anderson, like we said, who can all put the ball in the hoop. Bensalem has some scores, but they don't go as deep as Norristown. So Norristown's biggest weapon could be their bench.
Okay, so there you have it. We've got quickness against quickness, speed against speed, and we'll be back after a short break to bring you tonight's game between the Owls of Bensalem High School and the Eagles of Norristown. Mark Werkheiser here at courtside at Norristown Area High School, along with Joe Hadrick, as the Norristown Eagles starting lineup gets introduced. Tonight, John Cresswell, Willie Anderson, Derrick Perry, Alfonso Giddens, and Harry Allen starting for the Eagles. For Bensalem, who's already been introduced, we have Maurice Anderson, Mike Elzy, Sakeen Cook, Robert Regan, and Brian Locke. And now for our national anthem. As we get set for the tip-off here at Norristown, Bensalem comes into tonight's game with a league record in the Suburban 1 National Conference Patriot Division with a 5-3 record. As we said earlier, 11-5 overall. Norristown undefeated, 8-0 in Colonial Division play, and 14-1 overall. Officiating tonight's game, Phil Atwood and Jim Beatty. We're set to go.
Mark, I'm really excited about this game because it has the potential to be a good game. The other games were almost decided in the first half.
Derrick Perry wins the tip and followed in by Alfonso Giddens. Norristown with a 2-0 lead. Starting out in their familiar 2-2-1 zone press. Bensalem with the long pass beats the press and sets up. Sakeen Cook at the point. as Bensalem works against the zone.
It's really important for Norristown to be consistent early, Mark. They've had trouble getting into games lately, but if they can get off early, they usually can put a team away.
Outside Bensalem center, Bob Regan. They're really rather small, Joe. They've got a 6'1" forward and also a 5'11" forward. They're essentially going with a 3-guard offense.
They seem to have a little bit of trouble looking over the zone right now.
Making Norristown chase at the moment. Of course, we have no shot clock in high school basketball, so they'll take their time. Into the pivot. Double teamed by Allen and Giddens. Stolen by Giddens, but steps on the line. Bensalem ball.
It was good hustle on the part of Alfonso Giddens.
Inbound, and so far Bensalem content to hold it out and pick their spots on offense. To the hoop, no good by Anderson. And out of bounds, Bensalem ball. 6:35 to go in the first quarter. So far, Norristown's only touched the ball for a few seconds, but leads 2-0. Cook out front.
Bensalem is showing a lot of patience here, Mark. I tell you, this is kind of surprising.
Well, unlike last Saturday night, of course, they got behind early against Upper Meridian and had to pick up the tempo. Mike Elzy with a nice move. Bensalem falling back into a 2-3 zone. Well, we talked to Coach Cresswell before the game, and he had a suspicion that Bensalem wouldn't come out and pressure immediately. And so far, his suspicions are right. Giddens with the strong move.
Beautiful move, Mark. Beautiful move.
Five seconds. Good pressure by Norristown.
It's Norristown's pressure defense causing turnover already in the first quarter.
Bensalem's guards are going to have to come back to the ball to meet that and get open somehow. There's going to be a few more turnovers. John Cresswell passing up the shot. Now inside. Perry lays it in. Norristown ball. Against Bensalem zone. Allen with the open shot. Perry, no, and pulled down by Regan.
He went up high for that rebound, Mark.
Scoop by Sakeen Cook. 6-4, Bensalem trails Norristown. Willie Anderson looks inside. John Cresswell will run the offense. Giddens with another power move.
Is he strong, Mark, or what?
Joe, right now the Eagles are content to give up that outside shot because they're getting the entry pass into Giddens. So far, Bensalem can't stop him. Elzy trapped and fouled.
That's what I think.
Foul called on John Cresswell, his first. And I believe team first.
This is a really good start for Norristown. They've been patient. They've taken what Bensalem has given them.
Bensalem having trouble penetrating Norristown zone. Norristown running a 2-3 zone and will trap the ball out front. To back three guys just waiting to block shots.
They really had the zone extended almost to half court, Mark.
Well, that would leave a weak point in behind, and that was one of the baskets Bensalem got when Mike Elzy got in behind the zone. But right now, Bensalem having a very tough time getting in behind the zone. And Sakeem Cook turns the ball over.
Norristown's pressure defense is effective right now.
Harry Allen.
Beautiful pass. Oh!
Perry makes it 10-4.
That was an excellent pass.
And we'll go to the foul line. Sure was, Joe.
Norristown seems to be playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Derrick snuck in behind the defense, got the defensive man to turn his head. Of course, Harry Allen hit him with the nice pass. Did miss the foul shot, though, and Norristown will give the ball back up to Bensalem. Substitute Jason Tabita enters the game for Bensalem for Brian Locke. Regan back to relieve pressure. Mike Elzy passes it out to the point. Bensalem still not looking to force any action here.
I think they're content to sit back, Mark, and I don't think they want to get into a running game with Norristown right now.
They certainly have some speed, but I think at this point, Coach Sheldon Purr is afraid to use it right now for fear of getting blown out. And well, that fear is a real one.
Exactly. I think because they made so many mental errors down the stretch against Upper Marion, they don't want to get caught up in that up-tempo game right now.
Of course, they may be trying to keep the game close early and hope to let the chips fall where they may late in the game. Nice pass, but blocked. Out of bounds.
How you guys doing with the microphones, okay? You guys both speak English?
I don't know if you call it English. The visitor just stopped by. Principal of Norristown High School, Barry Spencer.
It's a steal.
Good to see him at the game tonight. Bucket by Mike Elzy. 10-6, Norristown. 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Perry loops a three. Again, Bensalem having trouble against the pressure. So simple zone pressure Norristown's throwing up against Bensalem. What they need to do is have some guys cut to the gaps, pass the ball, look opposite, and they should be able to beat this press.
I think they're definitely trying to keep the game a half-court game right now, Mark. I don't think they want to push the ball at all.
Giddens goes
Another
baseline.
strong move by Giddens.
Jim Beatty has a foul. And Alfonso Giddens will go to the line. Shooting 2. Entering the game for Norristown, Rashid Green for John Cresswell.
You know, Mark, just when you think you got Norristown slowed down, they bring in a guy like Rashid Green who's even quicker.
It's Mr. Excitement. He's Norristown's version of the microwave. He comes in hot.
Instant O.
Giddens misses the second. 14-6, Norristown. Minute 20 to go. Tabita comes away with it. Bensalem will look up court. Regan open inside for a second. Norristown closed that up. Around the horn. Foul by Al Giddens. Non-shooting though, and Bensalem will take it out of bounds.
Bensalem is showing a lot of patience, but they might be showing too much patience right now, Mark. Norristown's getting off pretty well.
At some point tonight, Joe, they'll have to play basketball. They'll have to come to Norristown, and they'll either get back in the game or Norristown will pull away. "45 seconds. Bensalem looks to be holding for the last shot here. In the pivot, back out. 30 seconds. Anderson for the three. Locke comes away with the rebound and the follow. Brian Locke. And a steal. Out of bounds. Bensalem ball, 15 seconds. That was a careless pass, Joe.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Norristown had a chance to go up by 8. Now Bensalem has the ball back.
The chance to close 2-4, and they do. Bob Regan with the short jumper. Norristown, little confusion with Norristown right now. And another steal. No good. Almost a three-pointer there by Brian Locke. Joe, a little mixed bag there in the first quarter. Bensalem, contrary to what we expected, came out very slow tonight. Although Norristown has not been able to extend their lead beyond 10 points right now. It's 14-10, Norristown.
It's a little different strategy than what we expected, but it seems to be working right now because they're only down by 4 points.
Joe, Coach Sheldon Kerr maybe trying to get his troops to pass the ball to the openings a little more against Norristown's zone press and against their zone. They certainly can hit the middle. The middle's been wide open. They should have numbers in behind. If they can get the ball deep into the baseline, they should be able to score.
Definitely. I also think they're trying to mess with Norristown's head a little bit, Mark. Norristown probably expected them to come out a little bit faster.
Right there, the pivot's open. Locke not able to make that pass, though. They have a big kid in the middle. They got to throw the ball to him. If he turns and looks to the baseline, they're going to have 3-on-2 in behind the zone. Baseline, Mike Elzy. Tremendous leaping ability by Mike Elzy.
He's an awful strong kid, Mark.
Bensalem still sitting in their 2-3 zone. Rock Green, air ball, out of bounds, off Norristown, foul ball. Norristown only making one substitution at this point in the game. Rashid Green in for John Cresswell. There they go, to hit the middle. Bob Regan wasn't able to turn to make the pass.
Yeah, he should have stopped and gathered himself first, Mark. He tried to go too fast.
Tried to dribble first.
Yes, he did.
I'm sure Bensalem's coach doesn't want him dribbling in the open court.
I don't think so.
If they're going to break the press, that'll be the way that they have to break it. They just have to execute a little better. Rock Green sent through to the corner. Looking inside. If he has the shot, he'll take it. And of course, that's why he's in the game. Miss by Perry, rebound. And Bensalem collects the rebound. Up ahead to Elzy. He'll loop a shot. Allen up court quickly. Cross court to Green. .6:25 left in the second quarter. 14-12 Norristown.
Oh, boy.
Make that 16-12.
Willie Anderson.
Mike Elzy's off the glass shot spills out. Bensalem up quickly. Reaching foul by Harry Allen.
The tempo on both sides is starting to pick up a little bit. Norristown seems to be taking a few more chances on the defense, and Bensalem seems to be wanting to push it up a little faster.
Bensalem is sort of feeling their way through this zone right now. I think they're starting to figure out how to break the press. This could be a good time for Norristown to change things up a little bit and confuse the Owls.
Definitely.
Regan open in the post, but Locke will take it. Rebound by Regan, and it won't go. And Harry Allen throws it away. It'll be Bensalem ball.
He had the right idea though, Mark. Derrick Perry was wide open. He just overthrew him. It's definitely a different game than the last 6 games Norristown has had. These guys are going to be in this game the whole time, I believe.
Ball tip. Perry with the gusto.
Oh, baby.
And Bensalem's flustered now. Almost back court. Pump fake.
Mark, I think he took off from the foul line on that dunk. That was awesome. I think the rim's still shaking.
Harry Allen will shoot 2 shots and try to extend Norristown's lead. He'll have one more. 19-12, Norristown leading. 5:05 left in the second quarter. In tonight's game here at Norristown Gymnasium. 20-12. Norristown still stays in the zone press. Content to let Bensalem play with the ball in the backcourt. Now we've got a 3-on-1. Alley-oop pass.
Mark, that's exactly what Norristown wants Bensalem to do. Make quick decisions, and sometimes those decisions are not the right ones.
Actually, Bensalem beat the press nicely, but instead of pulling it out, they did throw it away. And Norristown throws it away. Gives Bensalem a chance to cut the lead to 6 points. Tabita to the post. That's where they're going to break it. Regan's just having trouble making that pass, Joe.
He is.
Bensalem with 3 guards in the game right now. Tabita, Anderson, and Cook. But not looking to the basket at all, Joe. The passes are going out toward half court, not toward the basket. Reverse, nice reverse move, Bob.
That was a pretty move, Mark, real pretty move.
So far, Bensalem's strategy seems to have been simply to get the ball to Mike Elzy on the baseline and let him do his thing.
Exactly, he seems to be the guy they want to take the shot. Oh, baby.
Harry Allen sinks a 3. 23-14.
Bensalem doesn't want to get too patient here, Mark.
Almost a turnover again by Bensalem. Norristown tips the ball out of bounds. Turnaround, won't go. Ball collected by Perry. Down quickly and turned over. Anderson pinned it by Derrick Perry. Beautiful block.
Oh, another strong move by Alfonso Giddens.
Finished off the break nicely. Took it strong.
Bensalem has to be careful, Mark. They're starting to get rattled here.
Things are getting out of hand. They may need a timeout. Norristown up 25-14. Has Bensalem rattled right now.
That was a tremendous block by Derrick Perry.
Just when Bensalem thinks they have the zone press broken, someone comes up from behind.
Oh boy, that was some kind of block.
Says, get that ball out of the game. Followed by Willie Anderson, 27-14. Brian Locke up the sideline. Bensalem's problem right now has been they're not able to see open people on the court.
Mark, it must be tough when Norristown is always in your face. They don't let up the whole 32 minutes there. Man-to-man pressure defense, zone pressure defense.
Double team. Tabita inside to Cook. Chased by Alfonso Giddens. Giddens and Anderson trap. Nice pass.
Nice play.
Well, that time, Cook beat the trap by drawing the two defensive men close and giving a nice bounce pass in. John Cresswell with a three. I think we have a foul underneath, Joe.
Yeah, I think there's a foul on Giddens. He pushed off after the shot, though.
Going to give him the basket.
I believe so.
And there's another guy, John Cresswell, the coach's son, naturally. He can't shoot that three-pointer. Although he doesn't look for it very often, there's another weapon that Norristown can use. Cook trapped in the corner. I think Giddens wanted the jump ball, but we have a foul. Brock Green entering the game, and Al Giddens will take a rest. That's his third foul, Joe. They don't want to lose him.
No, he's definitely a force. They need him in the second half.
So Bensalem's got four guys on one side of the court.
Oh, jeez. Norristown is just relentless now, Mark. Bensalem is doing the wrong thing. They're dribbling right into the trap.
Well, the only way they're going to beat any of those traps is with the pass, not the dribble.
Definitely. Early they were passing across the zone and around it. Now they're starting to dribble a little bit too much. Norristown has really stepped up their defense, though, even more than they usually do.
Well, we said at the beginning of the broadcast, that's been the key to Norristown's consistency of late.
This is something new, Mark. Norristown seems to be milking the clock a little bit.
Well, we've got a minute 15 left. Norristown up with a 14-point lead. Maybe John Cresswell looking for the last shot.
I think he wants to make sure that he goes in with at least a double-digit lead.
Inside a minute in the first half. Bensalem not coming out to chase. That's not what John Cresswell wanted. He's holding for the last shot, and they turn it over.
That had to be tough for Norristown. I don't think they ever held the ball more than 30 seconds all year.
They're not used to that part of the game.
No, they're not.
Well, Bensalem can cut the lead to 12, 35 seconds to go. But in order to do that, they're going to have to pass the ball a little better and be a little more careful with the ball. They'll hold for one shot. .11 seconds now. Bensalem looking to penetrate and get their shot off. Tabita pressured by Allen. Shaquem Cook with the long three-pointer, and it won't go. But they won't go down by more than 14 points. That's the end of the first half. Norristown and Bensalem go to the locker rooms with Norristown leading 30-16. We'll be back for the second half, Joe, shortly.
Okay.
Mark Werkheiser here back at Norristown High School along with Joe Hadrick. Joe, why don't you quickly run down the first half scoring?
Okay, Mark, for the visiting Bensalem Owls, Mike Elzy with 8, Jason Tabita, Shaquem Cook, Brian Locke, and Robert Regan, all with 2 apiece. For Norristown, Alfonso Giddens with 9, Willie Anderson with 6, Derrick Perry with 9, John Cresswell with 3, Harry Allen with 3 points.
Bensalem inbounds the ball to begin the second half. Norristown staying in its zone. And I wouldn't imagine they changed their defense at this point. Bensalem hasn't shown yet that they can deal with it. Cross court, baseline. Willie Anderson off the glass but misses. And fouled by Willie Anderson. He doesn't think so.
The fans didn't seem like that call either, Mark.
I don't think so either. Well, Regan was trapped there, and he had 4 guys around him. It was almost a bailout call. I think he would have thrown the ball away anyway. Trapped by Norristown. And Maurice Anderson cans 2.
Ooh, somebody else scored, Mark. Can you believe it?
Well, they're going to have to get some scoring from somebody other than Mike Elzy if they're going to make this a game of it. John Cresswell short with the 3, but comes down with the rebound. We have a foul as Perry went baseline. That's on Brian Locke. Team first, and Norristown will take it out of bounds in the corner. Giddens follows and is fouled. Joe, take notice next time. I thought maybe Brian Locke was playing Perry man-to-man and the other 4 was zoning it up. Maybe they're trying to come up with some trick defense here. They're gonna have to change something. I figured maybe they come out and play a little man-to-man pressure, but it doesn't seem that way.
I don't know, Mark. Brian Locke must be a good defensive player if they're gonna put him on Derrick Perry.
Giddens makes the first, and he'll get another.
Excellent play by Harry Allen. Brian Locke forgot to box him out, and he slipped in there and got the rebound.
He couldn't come down with it, and Harry was alert and picked up the loose ball. Saved it out of bounds off Regan's leg. Double team by Norristown and swung back over by Bensalem. Moving the ball around, nice pass. Now there's where the middle's a little soft on the zone.
Yes, it is.
If they can make that cross-court pass, that will be open.
That's where you beat the zone at.
Locke is absolutely playing Perry man-to-man. Now watch. Looks like they're playing they might even play a triangle and 2.
Alfonso Giddens is all over the place now.
The triangle can't contain Alfonso as he cans 2 for the Eagles. Let's watch that next time down. I think Bensalem's playing Allen and Perry man-to-man, and they're throwing a triangle at the rest of the Eagles. Little triangle and 2 defense. Ball stripped away by John Cresswell. We'll have a jump ball.
That was good hustle.
And the possession arrow goes to Norristown.
Bensalem doesn't seem as quick this second half, Mark. I don't know. I think they're trying to be too patient again.
Yeah, Allen being played man-to-man, Perry being played man-to-man. Cook at the point of the triangle. And Willie Anderson takes the ball inside and gets fouled.
I don't think Norristown has really noticed that their 2 best players are being played man-to-man right now.
I think John Cresswell, Coach John Cresswell, just yelled out a few instructions. He may be trying to get his team to run something against that triangle and 2. Long 3-pointer by John Cresswell.
That shot's there all night, Mark. If he can hit that, he can put Bensalem away to...
Triple team, out of bounds. Again, they're trying to break that press with the dribble. That's going to happen every time. Nice double pump by Mike Elzy. 36-22. Norristown ahead. 5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter here. Nice.
Oh, baby!
Well, I think Harry was getting a little frustrated at that man-to-man defense, and he went right by his man.
Actually, the guy played good defense. It was just such a tremendous move on Harry Allen's part that there was nothing the guy could do.
Harry's been quiet tonight so far, and he may be ready to bust out right now, Joe. Timeout. Bensalem with 4:54 left in the 3rd quarter. Norristown with a 38-22 lead. Joe, with 4:54 left in the 3rd quarter, if Bensalem's going to make a move to get back in this game, it's going to have to be right now.
Yeah, they can't sit back in that zone, Mark. Not the way Norristown's shooting the ball.
Not even a triangle and 2, I don't think. They're going to have to come out and play some full court man-to-man. Of course, their other problem is attacking Norristown's zone pressure. Harry Allen misses the chance for the 3-point play. Across the front to Beta. Looks into the pivot. Willie Anderson pressuring. Elzy with the nice move. Little crossover dribble.
He's a tough player. They need a little more than Mike Elzy tonight, though, Mark.
John Cresswell going to the left. Launches one.
Alfonso Giddens on the boards again. Oh.
And Perry with the follow.
Norristown's just controlling the offensive board right now.
Thrown away by Maurice Anderson. Bad play, Joe.
Yeah, he got a little rattled right there.
Well, they had 2 guys in the middle against the press, and I'm not sure both of them were supposed to be there. Follow again by Derrick Perry.
Norristown's getting 2 and 3 shots on the offensive boards, and Bensalem just can't stop him right now.
They're starting to do anything they want right now. I think Bensalem's still trying to solve Norristown's defensive pressure. There's another steal. 4-on-1, 4-on-2. Derrick Perry picks up the loose ball for 2.
Tell you, Mark, Bensalem can really use a timeout right now. They're up and down the court.
Norristown just content to let Bensalem make that first pass because there's another basket.
They really need a timeout, Mark, I tell you. I don't know what the coach is thinking right now, but I think they really need a timeout.
Bensalem 3-on-2. Sakeen Cook with the scoop. 46-26. Norristown with a 20-point lead. Penetrates. Giddens off the glass, no, but tipped away by Willie Anderson.
Norristown again getting 2 and 3 shots on the offensive boards.
And finally, a foul by Bensalem. Well, we knew that was one of Bensalem's problems coming into the game, that they are not that big. And if the game got into a situation where there'd be a lot of pounding inside, they're just going to get beat up.
But Mark, you don't really have to be that big to know how to box out. Bensalem doesn't seem to be getting a body on anybody right now. Everybody's hitting the offensive boards, and everybody's getting second shots.
Right now, Bensalem, all their players look a little shell-shocked. They don't appear to be playing with any confidence, and frankly, looking for someone to give them a lift out there, and it may not happen tonight.
I think teams think they can come in here and Norristown can press them for 3 quarters and Norristown starts to tire. Norristown just doesn't tire.
Well, the consensus of teams playing Norristown always seems to be that everyone thinks Norristown can't play the half-court game, and they're looking to slow the game up. Trouble is, Norristown in the last 3 games has really looked to step up their own tempo and dictate it themselves. They're not letting teams walk it up, play half court. They're saying, okay, you want to play half court, you're going to have to beat our press, you're going to have to pass it over our big people, trapping, and make the play at the other end. And of course, then we've got people that come back and block the shot.
Definitely. Norristown is really doing a great job in all facets of the game right now. I think Norristown's only problem tonight has been foul shooting.
They've missed several foul shots. There's another miss by Al Giddens.
Yeah, that was kind of ugly.
Still 46-26, Norristown. But
Here we go. Here we go again.
Oh, undercut. Oh, watch yourself. Al Giddens will get the foul. Saved himself from going down pretty hard. He got hit low as he left the floor. We definitely don't want him hurt.
Thought that was 2 shots. I guess they got him before.
Well, that was questionable. Of course, who are we to question the officials?
Of course.
Bensalem up quickly. Sakeen Cook with the double pump, rejected by Perry.
Here we go.
Long pass. And Harry Allen lays it in.
The point guard took it all the way down. Nobody took his spot that time, Mark.
Bensalem trapped. Oh! A little sleight of hand there by Harry Allen. Now you see it, now you don't.
I think he left his sneakers over in the corner somewhere.
He brought that one out from the schoolyard.
Oh my goodness.
Again, Bensalem unable to break Norristown's trapping pressure in the backcourt. With any consistency. They have done it a few times, but
Alfonso Giddens finally got tired, Mark. They took him out and put Rasheed Green in the game.
God. Mike Elzy tried to go to the hoop, set back. Joe, when you have a shot blocker in the back of the zone like Derrick Perry, the guys in the front can really take some chances because they always have Derrick in the back to bail him out.
I tell you, he's doing some jumping tonight. This guy's way off the floor.
In the game for Norristown, Ian Morris. He'll play the back of the zone as Perry moves up. Another block by Perry.
He's all over the place.
With 1:06 left to go in the third quarter, Joe, Bensalem has no idea what they're doing right now.
Norristown just keeps pushing it and pushing it. They don't let up.
Brian Locke with the running one-hander. Nice shot from the baseline.
That was a really nice shot. They need a lot more of that, though, Mark.
53 seconds to go. 52-28. Harry Allen with the crossover and down the lane.
I tell you, you don't really notice him that much, but he scored a lot of points tonight.
Derrick Perry with the follow, but we'll call a foul on Derrick Perry. Joe, I think Harry laid that hard off the board because he knew Derrick was coming. That was a set play.
It almost worked, too. It would have been quite a dunk.
The Eagles having a little fun out there right now, and well, they should. Played a nice ball game to this point.
We still have a quarter left to go.
Out of bounds. Bensalem ball. 14 seconds to go in the third quarter. From behind, picked by Harry Allen. Loose ball. Right in front of us here. And Bensalem will get it.
They've sort of taken their main scorer, Mike Elzy, out of the game, too, Mark.
Derrick Perry didn't block that one, but he intimidated. It's the point now where Bensalem players are going to the basket, and they're expecting to see number 34 in their way.
And have the ball come right back at them. That was an excellent quarter by Norristown, Mark.
Well, Bensalem at 28 points. Joe, what did they have at halftime? Not much more than that, or less than that.
Bensalem had 16 points at halftime.
So, Norristown with a big explosion there in the third quarter.
24-12.
Yeah. This game could well be out of reach for Bensalem. I'm not sure man-to-man pressure is going to do anything for them right now. The fact of the matter is they can't score.
Exactly.
And one of the smart things they could do when they do get behind that zone is to pull up and take the 4 or 5 foot jump shot instead of going in and close to the basket and having Derrick Perry there to block the shot. Now, the only guy that seems to want to do that on the team is Mike Elzy. The problem is he hasn't been able to get the ball much that third quarter.
Norristown took him out of the game in the third quarter. They don't have time to pass the ball around the perimeter either, Mark. They have to get the ball up.
Inside, Cook. Taken away by Ian Morris. Rashid Green off the glass, no. Follow. Nice rebound by Ian Morris, and he'll shoot 2.
Everybody's hitting the offensive boards for Norristown.
Bensalem will bring Bob Regan back in the game to try to get some rebounds. They're getting killed on the offensive boards, the defensive boards. Both boards.
Norristown gets 2 or 3 shots every time they come down. But of course, they can't hit a foul shot.
Well, tonight it's not going to hurt them, but they need to practice that, Joe. Got to shoot 75 or better percent.
A team that drives as much as Norristown has to have better foul shooting than what they've had.
Of course, they're going to get to the line more. They're going to create that contact going to the basket. Another steal. Harry Allen with the dunk.
I was looking for something more innovative than that, but I guess he just went and did a conventional dunk that time. Another steal by Norristown.
And they'll wave that one off and call Harry Allen over the back. Norristown calling off the pressure.
Can you believe it? They're not pressing now.
Maybe out of mercy. Although Bensalem still having trouble with the trap. The Owls have been shell-shocked here tonight, Joe.
That was some third quarter Norristown put on them.
Oh, again, Mike Elzy, the only bright spot for Bensalem tonight.
He has
for 2.
He has a nice shot, Mark, I tell you. They need to get him the ball a lot more.
6:48 left in the game. The score 57-30. Harry Allen will go to the line.
Alfonso Giddens and John Creswell back in the game for Norristown.
There we go.
What was that? He made it?
A made foul shot. That's a matter of concentration, Joe. I'm sure Harry's capable of hitting 70%.
Here's another offensive rebound, Mark. And 2 points by Derrick Perry.
60-30. Norristown with a 30-point victory. I'm sorry, not a victory yet. Certainly headed toward one. Collected by Perry. Allen up quickly, now holds it back. No look pass and off the glass.
We really did think this game would be a lot closer than what it is. Norristown just taking Bensalem completely out of their game.
Timeout, Bensalem. Joe, you're right. After seeing Bensalem last Saturday night give up a Marion hole they could handle, I certainly figured this game would be a game well into the fourth quarter, but Norristown again played their game, decided the tempo themselves, are determined to create their game and not let anybody else play the way they want to play.
You don't want to pump up Norristown too much, Mark, but they're playing a hell of a game tonight. They never let up.
Again, like last Tuesday night, of course, we're not seeing Condi Bates here. We hadn't mentioned that. And Willie Anderson was inserted into the starting lineup. He certainly adds a lot of quickness to that 2-2-1 full court press. Al Giddens called for the offensive foul.
I think that's his fourth foul, Mark.
Mike Elzy with the long three-pointer. Comes up short. Norristown comes down with a 3-on-1. Kick by Norristown. Norristown will pull it out. Derrick Perry brings his troops down. Now here Bensalem's in their man-to-man pressure.
Here's a steal, Mark.
Now that's the defense we thought we'd see out here.
Yeah, it's a little bit too late for that now, I believe.
A little late to apply the pressure. Not to say that would have made any difference, Joe, but just that little quick man-to-man pressure, Norristown seemed, although they got this game well salted away, coughed it up, and that's, I gotta question that the coaching strategy for Bensalem tonight.
I think they were afraid of getting into Norristown's game, that up-tempo type of game, but when you get down by 15 and 20 points, you gotta go to something else. Another steal by Harry Allen.
Willie Anderson takes a rest. A solid game by Willie tonight. Left-handed by Harry Allen, 66-32. 4.5 to go in the game. And Norristown running a track meet right now.
It's almost time to get some other guys in the game, Mark.
In and out for Elzy. Fouled hard by Allen. He wasn't going to give up the dunk.
Nah, he didn't want to give up the dunk. Easy basket. Make him earn it on the foul line.
Both teams in the bonus. That'll be 2 shots for Mike Elzy.
You know, Mark, you can look up and down Norristown's lineup tonight, and it seems like everybody has played well. From Derrick Perry to John Cresswell Jr. Everybody's had a solid ball game tonight.
Well, we said at the top of the broadcast tonight, Norristown's opponents' problems are that they can't focus on 1 or 2 players. They've got to play against a whole team that goes 7, 8 deep off the bench.
Exactly. Norristown's whole team has contributed tonight.
Mike Elzy makes it 66-34. Behind the back. Nice move by Mark Palumbo.
Another guy off the bench coming right in and instant offense for Norristown. Here's a steal by Giddens.
Good dish off.
Norristown just doesn't let up, Mark.
Pulled down by Giddens.
Here we go, Mark. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh. And there it
he
went.
Missed it.
Perry comes back and fouls after the missed dunk.
I think that might have been too easy, Mark.
Well, he tried to go with that little extra. It cost him.
Wholesale substitutions for Norristown now.
Yeah, Derrick Perry sits down for the night with a fine game off the boards and defensively inside several block shots.
They just couldn't do anything with him, Mark. At either end of the court, they couldn't do anything with Derrick Perry tonight.
Let's set Norristown's lineup. They've got 5 We got 5 new players in. We've got Tracy Wade, Mark Palumbo, Ian Morris, Brian Nealman, and Tim Nguyen. Is that Tim in there?
No, he's not in there. Who's that?
Chris McGuigan. Check
McGuigan.
that.
Chris McGuigan.
Well, it's time for the substitutes to get their names in the books.
This is two home games in a row where the substitutes came in and had at least 3 minutes to play.
Again, now you have to question whether or not these 30, 40-point wins, obviously Norristown can't help, but if they play well, they're going to win by a large margin. But how much is it going to prepare them for postseason play?
Well, you know, Norristown can't really, you know, they have to play their league games. They can just come out and play hard every night. That's all they can really do.
Sure, it's not their fault that they win by large margins. Nice pass into Tracy Wade. (72-36). Mark Palumbo comes away with it. Up ahead. Nice over-the-head pass. Little bumping going on. I think the refs are looking to get out of here.
Yeah, they definitely want to let a few things go here so they can get the game over with.
Bensalem into the corner and stolen.
Excellent hustle by Ian Morris, number 22 for Norristown.
Ian's seen some crucial minutes this year, and you never know when John Cresswell, due to foul trouble or injury or whatever, may have to go to him. He's got some size.
Definitely.
Trapped and stolen by Tracy Wade. Mark Palumbo between the legs.
3 seconds in the lane, I believe.
Well, we've got some mop-up time here at Norristown. And
Next on the schedule.
yeah, certainly the Eagles made quick work in the second half of Bensalem. Although Bensalem tried to slow the action tonight, it was to no avail, especially in the second half. They just couldn't solve Norristown's pressure. It looks like Norristown's going to hold Bensalem well under their defensive average of 52 points.
Oh, another nice move, Mark. Ian Morris.
74-38. Check that, 74-36 with 50 seconds to go.
Norristown came in averaging, giving up 50 points a game. Like you said, they'll be well underneath that.
Brian Nealman. Wade won't go. 27 seconds. This one just about over. Chris McGuigan takes a foul. Entering the game for Ian Morris is Tim Nguyen. Now to get everybody from Norristown into the game.
I think they called it an intentional foul.
Well, it certainly was intentional.
Yeah. So North Penn will probably get the ball back here.
Check that, Bensalem.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, Mark. The Bensalem Owls will get the ball back. Nice shot by number 42, John Quinn for Bensalem.
Tim Nguyen with the reverse. Nealman, it spills out on him. 6 seconds to go.
Final 5 seconds of the ball game.
And that'll do it. From Norristown, the final score. Norristown 74, the Owls of Bensalem 39. Joe, right from the beginning, it was a case of Norristown's defensive pressure being too much for Bensalem to handle. From the zone press, even when Bensalem got over half court, Norristown's pressure just seemed to fluster Bensalem, and they threw the ball away.
Definitely Norristown, like I said before, Norristown's offense is their defense, and their defense played well. They created some turnovers, and Norristown took advantage of them.
The Eagles got big games from their entire starting 5. I can't think of one guy who was much more outstanding than the rest of the team. I think they all played very well tonight. Some on the defensive end, some on the offensive end. So it looks like Norristown seems to have their game together. Their next game will be at Truman High School on Tuesday, and we should be back here Friday night against Council Rock. That's on February 2nd.
Definitely. The Truman's team always has something from Norristown, so that should be an interesting ball game.
Okay, so that'll wrap it up from Norristown here tonight, where the Eagles take their record to 15 wins and 1 loss, and Bensalem will drop to 11 wins and 6 losses. For Joe Hadrick, this is Mark Werkheiser saying so long from Norristown. For the score tonight, 74-39. Have a good night.